Today I'm going to be ranking every single track within Mario Kart World. Okay, so this is something which I am surprised I haven't actually done yet, but I guess that I've played the game enough to the point where I'm familiar with every single track, and I feel comfortable with ranking them, basically. So, I mean, in this case, with previous tier lists, I've maybe customized things a bit more with the tiers and everything. In this case, I just haven't. We've got pretty basic S through F. So anyway, I'm not going to spend too long discussing each individual one. I'm just going to put them in there. And like I say, this is just based on my opinion on how much I enjoy them, etc. So, starting off with the very first track, which, well, I guess, yeah, we'll start with the first track of them all, which is the Mario Bros. Circuit. And I'm going to put that straight into B tier. I do like it quite a decent amount. Then we move on to the next one, which is Crown City. And that, to me, is also B tier. I would say a fan of both tracks so far. But they're not, like, unbelievable. They're just okay. Whistle Stop Summit. I'm not a fan of it personally, but I think it's a well-designed track. So for that reason, I am putting it into C tier. Now, next up is one of my favourite tracks in the entire game, and that is DK Spaceport. I'm putting that into S. The reason for that is that it's got a bunch of little gimmicks to it, but it's also very simplistic, right? It's back and forth on itself with just a few hairpins, but there's wall riding, there's grinding on rails, there's a big Donkey Kong, like, throwing things at you. It's great. I really enjoy it. So, S tier for that. And that is the end of Mushroom Cup. Now, on to the Flower Cup. And we start off with Desert Hills, which to me is a C tier. I'm just not a huge fan of it, but I don't dislike it. It's just, it's okay. It's there. It's a track. It's one of the tracks of all time. Shy Guy Bazaar. I don't know how controversial this is, but I'm also going to put that in C. It's another track which I don't dislike, but I also don't like. I'm just meh on it. Where, like, with the Mushroom Cup, I actually really enjoy pretty much every track in there for different reasons. Shy Guy Bazaar, it feels tight, which is good in that it's skill-based, but I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of it. However, Flower Cup ends with two fantastic tracks. First of all, Wario Stadium, which I'm gonna put into B, but I might move. I do quite enjoy it, but I'm not gonna say anything beyond that. I think just as a... Sorry, I just coughed. I think as a baseline, it is a solid track, if nothing particularly special about it, I guess, right? It's got, like, it's a fun gimmick, there's a lot of wall riding and everything, but it's not amazing, basically. Airship Fortress, though, it was always one of my favourite tracks in the DS game, and it's one of my favourite tracks in this one. I really do like it, and I am putting it into S tier. Now, on to DK Pass. And it is called DK Pass, right? The snow Donkey Kong level. I really like this one. I'm gonna put it into A tier for the simple fact that it's not, like, got much to it in terms of, you know, grinding on rails or, you know, any of the gimmicks of this new Mario Kart. It's just a simple sort of track, but I do like it. I think it's fun, you know, you're going down a mountain or up a mountain. Up a mountain. Yes, up it and then back down it. It's great. I really do enjoy it. So, for that reason, I'm putting it into A. Now, on to my least, or one of my least favourite tracks in the game. And that is Starview Peak. I'm putting it into F. Now, I know this is going to be controversial, because I see a lot of people saying that they like this track. And here's the thing. I just don't. It's a water level, which I just can't enjoy water levels. I think That's the one thing that they've changed from Mario Kart 8 to Mario Kart World, where I am truly just like, you have gotten rid of a good feature and just removed it for no real reason. You know, you could go underwater in Mario Kart 8. In this, you cannot go underwater, and it just means that driving on water is just... yeah. I don't know, I don't like it, basically. You know, not all of it is on water, of course. There is other parts to it, but it's just a bland level to me. It's like just a bit of a turn and then like another turn and then, oh, you're on water. Can't say I'm a fan. I think the design of the level, in terms of how it looks and everything, is very cool, but it's an F. The next one, I forget what this is called. Sky High Sunday. I'm going to put it in C. Now, this is another one which is probably controversial in that I think a lot of people like this. I don't dislike it, again. It's just one which I'm met on because it's like... actually, no, I'm going to put it up to B when I think about it in hindsight because I do like it. It's just... the layout of it to me just isn't that fun, I think I'll say. Okay, on to Wario's Galleon. Now, I think this is also called Wario's Shipyard. I don't know, it has different names depending on EU or America. So, my opinions on this, though, is similar to Starview Peak, which is that it is bad because it's a water level. And that is all I'll say on that because, again, I don't really like the water mechanics in this game. That's not to say that every single track that has water in it I will rank badly. It's just to say that, yeah, I'm not a huge fan of that track. That said, we move on to another track with water on it, and a very basic track, the shortest track in the game, Koopa Troopa Beach, and I'm putting this into D tier. To me, it's better in that you don't have to do so much on the water, but it's very short, there really isn't much to it, and basically I'm just not a huge fan of it, but I don't dislike it. Or hate it, maybe, is the better way of putting it. I do kind of dislike it, but it's there, it exists, it's okay. So, onto Faraway Oasis, which does happen to have water on it, but also I happen to quite like it, and I am going to put it into C tier. This is the one where there's animals and stuff kind of going around, and it's, I don't know, it's kind of a fun one, you know, it has some fun elevation changes, some fun elements to it, but it's nothing special, right? There's like a waterfall at the end, which is kind of cool. There's a bit of gliding, there's different like levels to the track where you can either go low or you can go high. There's bits to it, and it's kind of fun, but it's nothing special, in my opinion. Okay, on to Peach Beach, which, I think is a D tier, to be honest. Actually, no, we'll say C tier. We'll say C tier. Yeah, it's one which just, they've added to it in comparison to what the original was, which makes it better, but it's still just a bit whatever. It's just a track which I don't think anyone would actively pick as their favorite. I don't think many people would actively choose it. It's just there. No one dislikes it. No one likes it. Oh, well, maybe I'm just speaking for myself there, but yeah. Okay, on to Salty Speedway, which I'm putting into D tier. It's another one which, it's water, and I'm just not a fan, basically. I'm not going to elaborate too much more on this. I'm sick of just saying about water levels that I don't like it, blah, blah, blah. So, I'm just going to leave it at that. Next up, Dino Jungle. I am putting this into A tier. I'm a big fan of this because dinosaurs, and I guess it's also just a pretty cool track anyway. I think one of my favourite things about this, though, is that it's actually kind of a narrow track. There is narrow parts to it, which, considering the fact that it's 24 players, makes it quite a difficult track, and it feels sort of old school Mario Kart, which makes sense considering it is a remake of a retro track, right? So, makes sense, but yeah, I'm a big fan of that. Next up we have Great Block Ruins, and I'm putting this into S tier. The reason for that is that I think as far as an original track goes, rather than a remake of a retro track or anything like that, it's got a lot of really cool elements to it. I don't think there's anything like hugely special about it, but I think one of the main reasons I love it is that there is the potential, I suppose, for a lot of shortcuts, and that is something that I love. I love a track where there is a lot of potential for shortcuts. There's a lot of just sort of different things that you can do, I suppose, and still get to the same end game, but maybe you win easier, I guess. If that makes sense? Hopefully it does. So yeah, S tier for me. I really like this. Next up, we are on to Cheap Falls. This is another one which heavily water-based, so it goes into, I'm gonna say, actually, no, you know what? It's C. I actually don't hate it. I don't love it, but I don't hate it. And so, for that reason, C. Similarly, Dandelion Depths is also a C to me, because while, like I say, I'm not a fan of the new water mechanics or anything like that, I don't hate every single one of them. There's ones which I can just kind of like and be done with it, I guess. So, for that reason, C tier. Now, on to one of... I honestly might say it actually is my favourite track in the game, and that is Boo Cinema. The reason that this is one of my favourite tracks, if not my favourite, is that it is so original. There is so much to it, right? I mean, maybe not. Maybe that's exaggerating a bit, but the gimmick of driving into the theatre, sort of drifting through, and then going through the screen, and then sort of being in the screen and driving on the film and everything, it's really, really cool, and I absolutely love it. I won't elaborate much beyond that. I don't know how much people love this track, but I love it, and I'm putting it into S. So, yeah. Next up, we have Dry Bones Burnout. To be honest, this is an A tier. There's different routes. It's kind of like a fun track where there's a bit of gliding. There's a bit of everything to it, I guess. But it's not my favourite. It's not S tier, but it's good. Okay. Next up, we have Moo Moo Meadows. Now, I would love to, just for the bit, put Moo Moo Meadows into S tier, because I do like Moo Moo Meadows. I am biased. I love Mario Kart Wii, and I love Mario Kart Wii's tracks. That said, yeah, I wouldn't go much beyond... We'll say C tier for Moo Moo Meadows. Next up, we have Choco Mountain, which to me is a B tier. I kind of like it. There's a bit to it, where, you know, it's like, it's kind of got different bits of scenery. There's bits to it. It's got some narrow bits. It's kind of got a bit of everything. But it's nothing special to me. What is special to me is Toad's Factory, which goes into S tier. I love Toad's Factory. I'm not even going to elaborate on that. I just love Toad's Factory, okay? Got it? Cool. On to Bowser's Castle. As far as a Bowser's Castle track goes, it's good. It's not my favourite, so I'm going to put it into A tier. I think Bowser's Castle tracks are always very fun, but they're not... I don't know. This one just... I don't know what it is. I just guess it's like... There isn't like a big Bowser spitting fireballs at you or something like that. It's just like there's fire, there's a bit of jeopardy. You're sort of like flying a bit and doing random bits, but it's... I don't know. It's not my favourite Bowser's Castle, but it's still really cool as far as a track goes. It's just... As a Bowser's Castle goes, it's a bit whatever, I guess. Okay, next up is Acorn Heights, which I'm gonna say is a C tier. Actually, no, I'd say B tier, actually, in second thoughts, because it's got some cool designs to it. You're kind of in the trees and doing a bit of grinding there, and you can do a bit of wall. Can you do wall riding? Probably. Actually, I don't think you... No, I don't think you can, but... Still, it's cool. It's a cool track. It's kind of got a cool design. I do like it. I just don't love it. And I've said that several times. Next up is Mario Circuit, which is one of my favourite kinds of Mario Circuits that they've ever done. But that's to say that it's still only a beta. The reason I say that is that Mario Circuits are just generally quite boring, I would say. But I like the idea of combining the first 3 Mario Circuits from the SNES title and combining them into one. I think that's a really cool little gimmick. But there really isn't much to them at all. You know, there isn't like... There isn't any like grinding, there isn't really a lot of anything really going on with it. It's just... It's a track and it's okay. There's drifting to do and there's sort of fun to be had, but it's whatever. It's not great. Next up, we have Peach's Stadium, and this is the second to last one. And I like the idea of it, but again, it's just a beta, in that, like, I don't think there's enough to it to really justify going much beyond a beta, personally. That's just my opinion, but I really wouldn't. And that's just me being as truthful as I can be. So we'll finish with Rainbow Road. Of course we'll finish with Rainbow Road. I don't know whether to say S. I'm gonna say A tier, which may be controversial, but again, similar to Bowser's Castle, it's... No, it's not. No, I'm saying S. Yeah. Right, I was gonna say similar to Bowser's Castle. It's not the best Rainbow Road of all time, or at least in my opinion. But it is really cool. I think the thing is that Rainbow Roads are always very cool and there's very high standards. To me, Mario Kart 8 was one of the worst in a while. And because of that, I guess that sort of made me feel like I was being biased in saying that, like, this one is really good, but I think the reason why I wouldn't say it's, like, amazing or the best one is because Mario Kart 7's is just... It was a game changer in terms of what you could do with tracks, right? There was, like, sections to it, you were driving on planets, and it was crazy, it was really cool. This one is sort of, like, combining a bunch of elements again, but there's water elements to it, and it's one of the... To me, it's just like a very boring water element. Again, I don't like the water element, but... There's the rainbow elements, there's a lot of different parts to it, but I will say one of the main reasons I wouldn't say it's the best Rainbow Road, beyond the fact that, again, I've just explained why I love Mario Kart 7's, is that it's just... I wouldn't say bland, but it's not difficult enough to be a Rainbow Road. With Rainbow Road, I always consider it that one track where it's like, you struggle to not just fall off. Like, you shouldn't be able to go on to Rainbow Road for your very first time and not fall off it, in my opinion, for Mario Kart. In this one, I didn't fall off Rainbow Road for on my first time driving, which, again, that might just sound like a weird humble brag, but that's not what I wanted this to be. I just want to make it clear that I do kind of just think it's a bit odd, I guess, that this Rainbow Road isn't that difficult, but beyond that, it's a really cool design. I do like it a lot. So because of that, S tier. Now, that's my rankings. Let me know how you would rank them in the comments. I will say, none of these are in order. I've sort of gone over, like I say, how I actually feel about them. I did put Boo Cinema in first, and that is in order. This whole S tier thing isn't in order, but I would say it's pretty close to being in order, to be honest. But yeah, those are my rankings. You can tell pretty clearly that I'm just no fan of water levels. So yeah, let me know in the comments how you would rank them, and bye.